Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also make sure you turn off the dishwasher's water supply underneath the sink. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the GE Dishwasher Door Vent Duct. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new door vent duct. The door vent duct allows hot air to vent out through the dishwasher door. The main reason you should be changing it out is if the threads are damaged and you can't tighten down the cover and water's leaking out through the door onto the floor. In order to change the part, we have to pull the dishwasher out of the cabinet. First thing we're going to do is go underneath the sink and disconnect the lines. Now that we're underneath the cabinets, you want to make sure that the dishwasher is still unplugged, and you may want to throw a towel down. When we take off the fill line and the drain hose, there's going to be some water that comes out. First, we're going to disconnect the fill line. It's connected right here to the hot water valve. You want to make sure the water valve is off, and then we're going to use our 5/8" wrench to loosen up the hose. Once you have it broke free, you can just reach in and unscrew it by hand. Once you have it off, you can just set it down, and then we can take off the drain hose. To take the drain hose off, you just want to follow it up to wherever it goes. It may go to the garbage disposal. Ours goes up to the air gap. Once you locate the end of it, we're going to take a 5/16 nut driver and loosen up the clamp. Once you have the clamp loose, you can pull it free and set it down. Now that we have the lines disconnected, we're going to open up the dishwasher door. Use the Phillip screwdriver to take out the screws that hold the dishwasher to the countertop. Now that we have the screws out, we're going to lift up on the door and use it to carefully pull the dishwasher out a little bit. Once you have it out, we can grab the frame and we're going to pull it out about halfway. We're not going to pull it out all the way. Now we're going to use the 1/4" nut driver to take off the screws that hold on the access panel. Once you have the screws out, we can pull the access panel and the sound insulation out and set it aside. Now that we have the access panel and the insulation out of the way, we can disconnect the wiring harness. There's a little locking tab right here. You just have to press on to release it. And we're going to follow it up, and there's a little clip that hooks it to the tub. We're just going to unhook it from there. Now we can release the door cables. There's one on each side. They both come off the same way. All you have to do is grab the end here and lift it off the hinge. And then they make a little cable holder right below it that you can just hook it into and let go. That way it doesn't spring back and unhook the spring. Now we can do the door cable on the other side. It comes off the same way. Now that we have everything disconnected, we can take the door off. We're just going to open it up a little bit. And you want to lift up on it so the pins come out of the hinge. Don't open it too far, otherwise they won't come out. Just enough to get them out. Once you have it free, you can pull it off the dishwasher. Now that you have the door off, we're going to set it on a table with a towel down so you don't scratch it or damage it. First thing we're going to do is take the vent cover off. We're going to use a flathead screwdriver just to break it free. Just want to get it on the tab right there and just tap it. Once you have it free, you can just unscrew it, take it off and set it aside. Now we're at the bottom of the door. There's 2 screws on each side that we have to remove in order to separate the 2 panels. We're going to use a 1/4" nut driver to take them out. Now we're going to use the Torx 25 driver to remove the 2 screws down by the hinge. There's 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. Now we're going to turn the door over so we can take the front panel off. Just want to carefully turn it over, set it on the table. Once you have it off, we're going to separate the two sides. You have to pull down on the outer door to separate it from the inner door. Once you have it free, you can pull it off and set it aside. Now that we have the door separated, we have access to the door vent duct. It's located up here at the top on the left-hand side. We're going to take the wiring harness off first. You just have to unhook it here from the duct. Then we're going to use a corner-inch nut driver to remove the screws that hold it in. Once you have the screws out, we're just going to carefully lift up on it and separate it from the gray duct. There's a little yellow seal here. If it's worn out or compressed a lot, you may have to replace that too. Ours is still good, so we're going to reuse it. Once you have it free, you can pull it out of the door. Here's the old door vent duct next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. To put the new duct in, we're just going to put the seal on first. Make sure it's seated all the way. Then we can set it in place and put it into the duct that goes onto the bottom of the door. Snap it together. Then we're going to grab the quarter-inch nut driver and put in the screws. There was 2 screws. You want to make sure the smaller one goes here. Once you have the screws in, you can hook the wiring harness in the holder. Once you have it in place, we can put the door back together. To put the outer door on, when you set it in place, you want to make sure that these tabs right here go into the slots on the door. And then you also want to make sure that the tabs here on the top of the panel go underneath the control panel. Once you have it in, you can pull up on it to push it into the console. Now that you have the door put back together, we're going to carefully turn it over. And we're going to use the Torx 25 driver to put in the screws on the side. Once you have these in, we can do the ones on the other side. Now we could use the quarter-inch nut driver to put in the screws that hold the bottom of the door together. There are 2 different types down there. If you have mixed them up, you want to make sure that the fine thread goes on the bottom here. Now we can put the vent cover back on. To put it in, you just have to line it up and screw it in. Once you get it snug, you just want to take the flathead screwdriver and tap it a little bit so it's nice and tight so you can get a leak. Now that we have the door put back together, we can put it back on the dishwasher. To put the door back on, all you have to do is line up the hinges and set the pins in there. Now that we have the door back on, we can hook up the door cables. All you have to do is stretch them out and hook them over the hinge. Once you have this side on, you can do the other one. Now we can reconnect the wiring harness underneath. We're going to reach in and hook it over the hook so it's held in place. Once you have it in place, you can grab the plug it into the control board. Just want to make sure you plug it in so you get a good connection. It snaps in. Now that we have the wiring harness hooked up, we can put the insulation back in. Remember, you want to put the thick part back in first, and then this part wraps up inside the door. Once you have it in place, we can set the access panel in and use the 1/4-inch nut driver to put in the screws. Now we have to reach underneath and put the lines through the cabinets. We want to push the dishwasher in about halfway. Then we can go underneath the sink and pull on the lines to make sure they're not caught on anything. Then we can push the dishwasher in the rest of the way. Now we can reconnect the drain hose to the air gap. Once you have it pushed up into place, we're going to use our 5/16" nut driver to tighten down the clamp. Once you have the drain line hooked up, we can hook up the water line. All you have to do is get it started by hand. Once you have it snug, we can reach in with our 5/8" wrench to tighten it down so it doesn't leak. Now that we have the lines reconnected underneath the sink, we're going to open up the dishwasher door. Use the Phillip screwdriver to put in the screws to hold the dishwasher to the countertop. Now that we have the screws in, we can close the dishwasher door. Then we can plug it back in, turn the water back on, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.